Hello, welcome back to the channel. Today we've got a spicy brew built around Mirrorform. I'm revisiting this, a non-budget version of Mirrorform. We're going all out with rares and mythics and playing 14 Avatar Overlords here because they work really well with Mirrorform because you can impend them early on in the game. For example, turn 3 you can impend these, or turn 4 these. And then later in the game you can target them with Mirrorform and turn all your permanents into basically the creature version of the Overlord, including the one that you target. Even though it has impending counters on it, it still turns into the creature and can attack. So this is pretty powerful synergy between all of these Overlords, and the way that we're going to cast them all, because this is 4 colors we got going on here, even 5 colors with Sephiroth. Our mana base is built around most of our creatures being avatar creatures in their creature type, so that we can use Cavern of the Souls to make everything uncounterable, and Secluded Courtyard to name Avatar to get the pips that we need to cast all these different colors. And because we are playing mostly Avatar creatures, we got some Aangs for some interaction. Works nicely with a bunch of tokens that you can tap to waterbend it. And then we're trying one of us, the Sephiroth, because it is also an Avatar. And this is hilarious when you Mirrorform it. It turns all your permanents into Sephiroths, which then see each other as the legend rule, kills all of them except for one, and then they all trigger and can drain your opponent for the win. So pretty convenient that most of the creatures that are Avatar work really well with Mirrorform, including the Leyline Weaver, which is also an Avatar, and just works really well with impending costs, because you get to play the impending costs and then untap it and can use it to play other spells or block or attack. And also with Mirrorform, because it is a 6 mana spell, if you pay the mana with the Leyline Weaver, it untaps it, and then you can use it to attack as whatever you turn it into. So a lot of cool synergy. It is an Avatar with all of these Avatar creatures. And then the other cards in the deck are just sort of blue cards that generate tokens. The Spyglass Siren, very efficient, 1 mana for 2 permanents. And then the Stormchaser's Talent as well, as the Roiling Dragonstorm, which is just card draw basically in this deck, but also puts a permanent into play that will turn into one of your Overlords later in the game. But this, helps you find your Mirrorform, your land drops. And then trying to few of these Floodpits Drowners just to have a little bit more removal interaction with our opponent, slow them down a bit while we are setting up. But interaction is also decent with the Overlord. You can do 4 damage to something, a bunch of chump blockers, and Aang is a nice kind of pseudo counterspell, bounce spell as well. So that is the idea of the deck. Mana base is not so straightforward, but again, we're naming Avatar, so that really helps here. And then we got a bunch of shock lands for the other colors here. And Starting Town kind of holds the whole deck together. So 16 blue sources, and then 16 basically sources of each of these that you need to cast. And that is the deck. So let's jump to games and see if we can win with Mirrorform on Avatars in Standard. A huge thank you to all my viewers who have joined my channel membership. I really appreciate all the support. Members get badges, emotes, and early access to all my videos. Click the link in the description below the video to join and get these perks today. Alright, opponent goes first. We'll give this a shot. Go for the talent. And probably the Weaver on 2. A little bit of card draw here as well. Okay. My other talent. Okay, get that down. Start building up some tokens. And it's dead, sure. Well, better that than the Weaver. Okay, there is Artist Talent for them. Let's go Weaver. Definitely a random collection of permanents we're playing here. can get the Dragonstorm down. We can discard this Sephiroth if we don't have a way to cast it. Ooh, I go Monument. Talent into Monument. That's pretty good. No way to answer that. Okay, we don't have double green though. So we'll start with... yeah, let's start here. Draw. Discard, well... Now we could cast the Sephiroth. Maybe we want to do that? Probably better than another Roiling Dragonstorm. Yeah, sure. We can get this down. Let's see, 2 mana available. Let's do another talent. And then swing for 2. Alright, well they've got their whole engine set up, so this could be rough. They too have a Stormchaser's talent. But we can do Overlord plus Sephiroth next turn, I think. 1, 2, 3. I think we can. Though double green. Yeah, we can't actually do all that, but we could also cast this as a creature. It's actually debatable if that's better or not. Down to 11, and then another talent for them. Sure. Okay. Alright. Ooh, there's another different Overlord. So we can do both of these, actually, I think. Let's see. Avatar. 1, 2, 3. No, we're 1 short, aren't we? This is 5 mana. So we have to choose which one we want to do. This will guarantee us to get to Mirrorform next turn. This will give us chump blockers and more tokens. But I kind of like 1, 2, 3. I think I just play this thing. Force them to have removal for it. Yeah, that's fine. I think that's the play. Just play this thing. And then just pass. Gives me a blocker. We'll see if this works out. There's an Accumulate Wisdom, sure. Because if they don't have anything, we can Mirrorform. I mean, we can Mirrorform on the Monument, but then we need a way to discard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mirrorforming this Overlord is pretty good. There's Gran. They do have a bunch of blockers, though. Ours talent will trigger. Alright. So we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to swing with the otters. Interesting. Have they played a land this turn? I should have paid more attention. I guess they have 2 blockers. So if they don't do anything, this is 6. Well, we're kind of dead to a spell anyways, right? If they have a land, so. Because then we'll land. Probably lost 3 life this turn, so yeah, we'll just block with 1. Alright, well, I think we gotta go for it here, otherwise we're probably just dead on the next turn cycle. Yeah, I think this is Xaxes, because I can block these 2 and then 6, 6, 6, 6. Or actually, this should be more than enough. Yeah, if we do this. Yep, untap. And swing on in. Sweet, sweet. Tons of lands. And enough damage to win. 18 plus 12, 18, yeah, 26, 24. Enough to win. GG. Alright, on to the next one. Alright, going first. Hand looks pretty good. Let's lead with the breeding pool. Go Leyline Weaver into a bunch of Overlords. Looks pretty good. Okay, name Avatar. So, do we want card draw or ramp? I think we want ramp. And then maybe we can hardcast this one. Okay, never mind. There's the seat. Let's see what they choose. Either way, we have a play next turn, which is kind of nice, but... Let's see... Oh, there's the Mirrorform gone. Okay, so again, I think I'd rather go ramping here. And then next turn, hard cast this. Alright, blue-black, Overlord the Bailmark, sure. Looks like a Sultai reanimator. Another Deceit, sure. And then we'll just start with casting this. And drawing, discard. Probably this land, don't need. Keep the island. Let's see, 1, 2, yeah, okay. Play out the talent here. And then swing. Alright. Let's see if they have a sweeper. Some kind. Probably not until turn 5. Can rebuy this Mirrorform. Which maybe is the play next turn. Another Deceit. Okay. Sure. And then removal? No. Scam it? Bitter Trap. Okay. Well, that definitely makes me think they don't have any sort of... Let's go talent, rebuy the Mirrorform. And then land and swing. So, yeah, we can make a bunch of Overlords next turn. 4 of them, to be exact. Ooh. Do we have enough mana? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't think we can do this and do that. But we could turn all our stuff into black Overlords. Although that doesn't return... This doesn't return avatars, right? I've made that mistake before. I think we go for it. I don't see why not. Let's just do it. Turn everything into this. And yeah, alright, we did it. Swing on in. For the win, if not, at least making a ton of mana. Nice. Got there. Sweet. On to the next one. Alright, going first. This looks keepable. A little awkward with the mana, but 'tis the nature of this deck to have awkward mana, I think. Trying to cast all of these things. Alright. When it says hello. Gran. Alright, there's a white source. Let's see. So we'll go here. Pass. I've been able to get an attack in there, but that's right. We'll see if I can cast any spells this game. That is the challenge. Oh, there's a double red. Alright, so let's play this tapped. Get in there. Alright, removal. Gran. Ditches. That Monument of Endurance, sure. There's an awkward Sephiroth, but we got this. Take out the Gran. So that's something. Artist talent and pass. That was a decent draw. Let's go Dragonstorm of the Roiling. Alright, so maybe ditch the Sephiroth. Kinda wanna keep the lands. Although I can't really cast. I guess I'll ditch the Sephiroth. Can't really cast anything this turn. Because this is double green. There's no way I could have tapped differently, but anyways, still, if they just tap out or do something, and we can Mirrorform our, well, they just have 1 mana available. I think I just go for it here. I don't see a reason not to. Now, this is just like more than enough damage. I could have a bounce spell, but even if they bounce one of these things, the other two will get them. Okay, accumulate wisdom for a card. Alright, well, that's a lot of damage. That is 12 just on the triggers, plus 15. Yeah, sweet. Mirrorform avatars for the win. On to the next one. Alright, opponent goes first. This hand looks pretty good. Keepable at least. Let's see what they got. Swamp and Goblin. Goblin deck, okay. Very nice. Let's go Siren on one. And kind of happy to trade off this Siren if we can, actually. Don't hate that. Hold a Goblin, can't block. Dies, destroy target creature, power 2 or less. Okay, opponent does not go for it. We'll name Avatar. Huh. I mean, if we play this, then they kill it with that. But I think it's worth it. It's still worth it to get this down and then just not block, I guess. Potentially. We'll see. Because being able to impend this next turn would be excellent. swinging on in. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to block. See if they have removal. They do. Unfortunate. Ooh, Get this Overlord down now. Sure, let's do that. Avatar. And impend this. And then again, just pass. This will let us impend this next turn without taking any damage. In theory. Not sure why they didn't attack with this thing last turn, but their name is Funky Goblins. So, should have seen this one coming. Alright. Will we be able to make everything into an Overlord? That is the hope. Ooh, Soul Cauldron, okay. I can exile my Weaver and give everything that ability. Swing for 3, they could do that. Let's see. I want to destroy this next turn. Do I chump block now? Would give them... I think I'll just go no blocks. Down to 11. Alright, and... it's better than the Floodpits Drowner, right? Yeah, I think so. Alright, and then... can get in for 1. Might as well. Really don't think I'm going to block, so... unless they have... I mean, they can give this 4 power. I guess there is some sequence of cards that would kill me with this, but... just want to make another Overlord. Probably don't even need more than 3 of these, though. So, okay. I'll play that. Can put a counter on it. Attack for 1. Sure. And attack for 2, maybe? Yeah. But this Mirrorform is going to be pretty good. Very, very good. In fact... alright, here we go. Mirrorform on the red one. And swingsies. And let's just go face. Doesn't matter how they block here. Sure, just easier this way. Nice. Good old red Overlords. Yeah, that gives me a nice, and GG. Sweet, on to the next one. Alright, opponent goes first. Sure, let's try this. Looks like we can go for the Weaver on turn 2, which is nice. Get the Overlord going. Let me discard one of the Mirrorforms. Bookworm, nice. Yep, to be expected. Alright, Avatar. And play this one. Okay, now we can play this and untap this next turn. Okay, goes to discard. Yep, alright. Well, let's see. We can do impend here. Untap. Alright. Discard a Mirrorform, I guess. Kind of gives away what we're doing, but oh well. And then land on white, I guess. And play another one. Alright, sweet. So we will have access to 6 mana, technically. They can do a Deceit. I guess maybe that's... probably should have kept the other Mirrorform in that case. Yeah. Oh, they're gonna bounce this. Okay. Sure. Alright. Interesting choice. And then discard a Caballero. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Not really sure what's happening. So, if we play this, we'll get to untap and have 2 more mana available. Red or green mana. If we do this, we could do both of those, I think. We can float the red here and then do this with impending. Let's see. Untap those. And draw. And then discard a Leyline Weaver. Now we have 4 mana. No, 5 mana. So red, red. We can do this with impending. Untap. And take this out. And then put in Siren. And swing. For 4, I guess. And yep, should be set up for next turn. To Mirrorform some good stuff. Yep, they're gonna go Deceit. Fortunately, they're gonna take the Mirrorform. Or not. Which would be funny if they don't, but they do not. Okay, they chosen death, which I appreciate. Because now everything will be a red Overlord. Yeah. Okay. Well, I definitely shouldn't have... I should have kept both of them, but... Anyways, GG. Okay, opponent goes first. I don't think we can keep a 1-lander with this deck, but... This we can keep, I think. Put back... Probably one of these talents, I guess. I want the land. I want to keep the Mirrorform. I want as many permanents as we can get, though, so... Kind of painful to put back that talent, but... Gotta do what you gotta do. Alright, so let's just lead with it. Here. Get our token going. Burst lightning, sure. Everyone's afraid of the otter tokens. They don't do that much in this deck except for just give us 2 permanents in play. Alright, let's go tap land. Pass. Up against an Is It deck of some kind. Opt, sure. See what they find. We can get the Sephiroth down or the Overlord. Ooh, or that Overlord as well. We'll name Avatar. This way they can't counter whatever we play. This could ramp us into a 5, so let's do this one. So we could actually hardcast this if we wanted to. They're going to counter the ability. Oh, okay. Well, that's also okay. Spyglass Siren. Alright, so... Okay, we'll name Avatar. We'll lead with the Siren. And then let's get the Sephiroth down and sacrifice it to draw a card, I think. Still building up our permanent count here. Opponent is gonna kill that. I see. Okay. Well, that's okay. No creature to sacrifice, but that's alright. Nothing to return. Our graveyard. Gonna bounce that. Alright, but just 2 cards left. And, well, we can kind of do the same play here, I guess. And then Sephiroth. This time, I think it's worth it to try to hit our land drops here. Oh, nope, I'm going to counter. Oh, they're just full-on spells here. See if I can do anything. Alright, there's land drop. That's good. I'm all for attacking here and sacrificing. And then I can hardcast that other Overlord, I guess. Just want to make sure I can hit my 6th land drop. Oh, there's another Overlord. And then pay the life. Let's just cast this as a 5/3. And discard. Guess a Sephiroth. Alright, well. Everything might become an Overlord next turn. I drew this one. So it didn't hit the land and didn't even need to cast the Mirrorform. Okay. Alright, got there. Sweet, sweet. On to the next one. Okay, opponent goes first. I'll try this hand. It's a little sketchy, but we'll see. Painful mana base, too. Alright. Forest and Land Elves. Alright, let's lead with a Siren, I think. Might be able to get a little bit of chip damage in. Play this on turn 3. Try another white source, then could play the Overlord. Nothing for them. Okay. I see. Play this. Let's swing. Play the talent. Okay, that resolves. Play the other Siren. Okay, cool, cool. Well, we can play the Sephiroth. Draw a card, potentially. Not sure what our opponent is up to, but... Or board. Alright, well that is a problem. As it usually is. For most things. Alright. Let's do Sephiroth. And sacrifice the token. And then... I guess we could just plan to chump block with one of these. If not both. Just one. Because this is going to be 4 power at least. If we can get enough chump blockers, then we can maybe survive to mirror form. Okay, that's unfortunate. Takes out the Sephiroth. And the Leyline Elves. Okay. And a Leyline Weaver. Alright, well that's a lot of pumping with everything. I think we'll just go take the hit and then chump next turn. Okay. Avatar. Might be a turn too slow here. So we can chump here, but can't mirror form next turn. So I think this will be the end next turn, because nothing to do. Have to block everything. Yep. Can't cast the mirror form. And just a turn too late. Can't beat a Ouroboros, that's for sure. It's a tough one. Yeah, discard and concede. GG. Alright, welcome back to our wrap-up of Mirror Form Avatar combo. This was pretty fun and ridiculous and wild deck. Somewhat competitive. I had about a 50% win rate in ranked with this. There's probably some ways to improve it. The main thing I was thinking of is probably you can cut the Sephiroth. I never really... there's probably just not enough creatures you want to sacrifice in the deck to make it really good. But it is hilarious as a mirror form target. So, you know, if you want to keep that, that's fine. I might just do a third Aang to have more interaction in the deck instead of the Sephiroth. That might be the main change I can think of. Any other ideas? Let me know in the comments below. I really appreciate you watching. Thanks so much. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video.